Tonight, Walmart joining a growing list of companies rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives amid growing pressure from conservative activists.
I am very proud to report to you guys that Walmart has decided on making some changes.
The largest retailer in the world confirming it will curb racial equity training for employees, no longer consider suppliers race or gender to boost diversity, stop selling LGBTQ-themed items online that are marketed to children, including chest binders for youth going through a gender change.
Walmart said we rolling it on up out of here, which I know y'all already heard this. I've been watching people talk about this. These people are wilding, of course. How could Walmart do this right before Black Friday? I wonder if that's going to stop people from going to the mart. So they want to get rid of chest binders and all this stuff. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I said this before in a different video. This is a big to-do about nothing except for maybe the products that they decided that they're not going to sell any longer. But these companies already had these initiatives in place. They just changed stuff up and added these extra jobs due to George Floyd in 2020 to appease everyone. Now listen, when that stuff was going on and we was in the middle of C-19, they were very much into how you feel and what's going on with you today. And they got the black people together in 5 sessions. They upped the sessions in case you needed some time. And they were all helpful and nice and sweet and all that good stuff. A year later, it was a little bit less. The person that they hired to be this DE&I person in my particular company that they hired, I'm like, I don't hear from him no more. What's he doing? What's he up to? All of a sudden, that job was gone. Like, all these companies been doing this. They just haven't been announcing it, in my opinion. Maybe these ones were the last ones to hold out. Now that Trump is in office, they're like, we can come out and say it now. But there's plenty of companies that got rid of it a long time ago, just like these companies who are starting to make sure that people coming in 5 days a week. They're working on getting stuff back to normal before C-19 as if it never happened. Why is any of this a surprise? It was another thing that was put into place to appease black people, specifically black women who was out there fighting on the front line to say that this is what we need, this is what we need, this is what we need. And the stuff was, first of all, already there. It was already out there. We just called it something different. Many a company just called it something different. They just changed it up, tossed in the DEI that made everybody happy. But did these people, and I'm thinking of people like Al, Rick, Clown, Ange, Tiff, did they speak to the regular smegulars of us that work in America, corporate America, not millionaires, don't work on racial stuff all damn time? Did they come and talk to any of us? Because, child, I could have told them 2 years ago that this crap was on its way out. This is not a surprise. This is not a surprise to people who are regular workers in the regular world. I'm sure they out here crashing out. I have no doubt whatsoever. And it's like, first of all, it was a symbolic moment that made y'all happy. And the rest of us is like, but we already do this. Now, we got some extras, like I said, out of it, some extra days off, extra care at that time and all those other things. But how long did y'all really think that that was going to last? Seriously. Child, these people do not read the room. These people cannot relate. These people cannot relate to regular, everyday people who work, who get up and go to work, take care of families, what do they call it? Table issues, dinner table issues. They cannot understand that type of stuff whatsoever. That's why right now, plenty of companies on the low are working on bringing people back into the office 5 days a week. And by 2 years from now, it's going to be back to that. Say I'm lying. That's just my prediction. Even if it don't happen within 2 years, they working on that. This working from home stuff, it's going to be up out of here.
And in funding for its Racial Equity Center, a 5-year philanthropic effort launched after the police killing of George Floyd in 2020. Which sparked nationwide protests and a racial justice reckoning. Walmart, which employs roughly 1.6 million workers in the U.S., also ended its participation in the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index, following the same move by Ford, Harley-Davidson, Lowe's, and Molson Coors.
We will.
Is anyone going to stop going to any of these stores that they keep announcing? Cars are too expensive anyway. Lowe's, I'm not going to give up my Lowe's credit card over this. I promise you I'm not. And now Harley Davidson, Home Depot supports Donald Trump, so I'm sure people will be like, I don't want to deal with him anymore. I don't want to deal with them anymore. Anyway, and Harley Davidson, child, I don't know. All the bikers, you think all the bikers in the world are giving up Harley Davidson? I'm going to say no.
And Molson Coors.
We will not stop until we have eliminated wokeness in corporate America.
The public push for change at Walmart, spearheaded by Robbie Starbuck.
Robbie Starbuck. This is like a kid running around telling corporate America what they need to do or whatever. A younger person. He looked like he ain't even 30. So he out here saying, we don't want this. Everybody got to be recognized. Call me my names. I can be a tree today. I can be a rock tomorrow. All that stuff. Democrats ain't trying to hear it. They want to stick with the same old, and don't want to get in with the young people.
A former music video director turned conservative activist who leads what he calls an effort to eliminate wokeness.
I think this is a tremendous victory. Many have tried to get companies at this scale to change corporate policy, and it's ultimately a very, very difficult effort.
What do you think the implications of this are?
Big picture is actually very simple for me. I believe that companies need to sort of change the way that they operate around these issues to adopt a neutral approach where nobody with a specific set of political beliefs feels that the other side's political beliefs are being forced on them.
A spokesperson for Walmart confirms the company had conversations with Starbucks over the last week, but already had DEI-related changes underway. Walmart writing in a statement, "We've been on a journey and know we aren't perfect, but every decision comes from a place of wanting to foster a sense of belonging."
I believe that Walmart was already on track to do this because, like I said, there's other companies that have done it. They just don't make a big spectacle out of it. People be reacting quickly instead of thinking about downstream impacts. And they said that time is over. We're moving on. Actually, they going back. Shout out to Cam. They say we are going back. We going back to what we was doing before, and we going back to the 5-day work week.
Starbucks, who has more than 1 million followers on social media, has called on consumers to boycott several companies over their, quote, woke policies.
I got some Bud Lights for us.
A similar boycott of Bud.
Uh-oh. Remember all this foolishness? Who needed this? Especially when it comes to something that's no shade, ladies, but basically for men. Who sit around chugging beer? But who around here with beer and chilling with beer and going to Buffalo Wild Wings and watching football and having a beer and going for beers and all that stuff? What I want to say is that everybody cannot win. Everyone can't be the winner. And trying to make sure that everybody gets everything that they want does not work. It just doesn't work. And forcing other people to accept things that they don't want to, they don't like, they're not for, they're not interested in, is always going to be a problem.
Bud Light last year, after the company featured transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney in marketing, tanked sales of the beer, with Anheuser-Busch reporting a 10.5% revenue decline in the months that followed.
Conservatives have organized in ways that progressive and liberals, frankly, just have not. They have.
Sir, you are correct. And the first thing by doing that is to get someone younger.
Organized in ways to attack DEI and to spread misinformation and disinformation about.
He ain't listening. He ain't getting it. He ain't getting it. You cannot force other. This is the same difference as I've said to you all. I've said it at work. I've said it everywhere. You're not going to get me to change what words mean just because you think that you matter more than anyone else. I'm not playing those games. I don't play those games with words that mean plural and you're one person. I won't talk to you. I want to have nothing to do with you. I don't care where we are. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You're not going to disavow, I'll call it, my whole educational background and my whole childhood and a whole time that I was raised because today y'all want to act like you ain't got the sense that God gave you because you want to please everyone else. If you want to make everyone else happy, go right ahead. That's not where I'm at in life. I don't give a damn how you feel. I don't give a damn what you want, but I'm not stopping you. I'm not participating. And I have that right not to participate in foolishness. And if I think that is foolishness, then that's what it is. If you don't like that word, that's your problem. At the end of the day, is what it is that you're doing bringing people in, or is it alienating people? And I don't think that many lefty progressives, people on the left, Democrats, look at things from that perspective. You cannot please all the people all of the time, so you got to stand on something. And this is what y'all chose to stand on. And I think more people didn't want that than more people who did want that.
What DEI is and aims to do.
Sean Harper, a professor of business who has worked with hundreds of companies, says DEI initiatives are meant to be inclusive, not divisive. He says the undoing of those efforts shows some corporations failed to prioritize diversity in a meaningful way.
The fact that these efforts are so easily undone strongly signal to me that they were not as durable as they should have been in the first place.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. It was a symbolic moment. It was another for just to appease people at the time. It was temporary. It was temporary. Y'all chose to hang your hat on George Floyd. And now here we are.
That the commitment to them, the corporate commitment, was not as strong as it should have been.
What message does this send to other retailers, to consumers? What are the far-reaching implications?
When companies abandon their commitment to DEI, especially a company as big as Walmart, it gives others permission to do so. It gives others permission to turn their backs on women, on veterans, on Americans with disabilities, on customers, clients.
That's not true. That's not true. He lying. Sorry. It doesn't give them the right to be against any of those people. That's just how he wants to look at it. You still have laws in place for, first of all, veterans have preference already on applications. I forget exactly what it is, but they can check off if they are a veteran. And then they can talk about, I think it's DD 214 or something. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And then you have a question on there about disabilities. I'm not saying that that makes sure that they get a preference. But at the end of the day, if we can be really honest, if anyone has ever hired people, has been in a position to hire people, you can find a reason not to hire someone if you want to. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. If you don't want to hire someone, you can find a reason not to hire them. I'm just saying. But as far as disabilities are concerned, there's laws in place with regard to that as well. And I think that Walmart definitely hires a lot of elder people. So let's not get crazy now. Let's not get crazy now. They actually hire people with disabilities. They actually are very diverse with their hires. So this guy needs to stop it. This guy really needs to stop it. This is not true.
And employees who are racially and ethnically diverse.
Let me get this out. One of the reasons why Democrats lost so bad is for reasons just like this. You're pushing stuff on people that they are not interested in. And I don't even think it's just white people. And I'm pretty sure that's what they think it is. It's about listening to what people have to say. It's about learning from the mistakes that you made. It's about listening to the majority. And corporations and companies are going to do what they need to do at the end of the day for their bottom line. And in that time, in 2020, 2021, it was all this, you gotta. And let's not act like DEI came up then and there. Those words were used, but they weren't used as DEI. And they brought that in as an acronym that they wanted to use, used it, and then got mad when people used it in a way that they didn't appreciate. Now that people have decided, all right, we're done with this because time moves on, things change, roll with the punches. First of all, again, these companies already had these things in place. They just appeased y'all for the time. 2, they already been getting rid of these things on the low. And I thoroughly believe that Walmart was already on its way. And 3, when you was getting your victories, quote unquote, and people didn't care for what you were pushing for, y'all didn't care. So now if you think that they care about your hurt feelings now because they quote unquote rolling back, you're not paying attention. And again, that be the problem. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. I see you all in the next
Play for
one.
free. Any thoughts on that?